Corporate giving is on the rise despite COVID-19. 74 organizations were awarded the Champions of Good this year, a national framework that recognizes people and companies for helping the vulnerable. The number of companies recognized increased by almost 20% compared to the previous edition. Now, more companies are also becoming better at doing good, according to the National Volunteer and Philanthropy Centre. This is evident from the record number of first-timers and repeat champions. Companies like MediaCorp, DBS Bank and Dynasty Travel have won it 3 times. Deputy Prime Minister Heng Swee Keat, who launched this year's campaign, stressed that doing good is even more important now as the pandemic has disrupted lives and livelihoods globally.
If there is a silver lining from this crisis, it is how the pandemic has strengthened our sense of common purpose as a nation and brought out the best from each of us. Many companies have stepped forward during this crisis to support vulnerable members of our society and rally their staff and stakeholders to support these causes.
I wish but not very often to enjoy food, makan.
Dining in a restaurant may be a regular affair for many Singaporeans, but for low-income families, it is considered a luxury. This is why ABR Group teamed up with charity Daughters of Tomorrow to run the Inclusion Table campaign, sponsoring meals for underprivileged families. This gesture of exemplary corporate giving has resulted in ABR Group being recognized as one of this year's Champions of Good organizations.
We strongly believe that bonding over food, right, is something that is really important, right? Because we have all these different F&B establishments, we want to be able to achieve sharing that joy of bonding over food. This Inclusive Table program allowed us to participate as part of giving back.
Other corporates who received the award include Barclays Investment Bank. It kickstarted a financial literacy workshop last year to equip offenders with basic financial skills. So far, over 250 have participated.
Many of them have been incarcerated for such a long time that even adjusting back to work, to life after release is going to be a very big problem for them. Many of them have never done budgeting. So ideas like saving and expenditure were very foreign to them. So what many of our volunteers did was they spent a lot of their time closely supervising.
A funeral services company was also recognized for helping the elderly capture meaningful moments in their lives. It started in 2017 when staff from Ang Chin Mo Group attended the memorial service for residents from St Andrew's Nursing Home. Nurses there shared fond memories of the departed, but several of them didn't have family members in attendance. They also didn't have a proper portrait for the funeral. The company decided to do something about it. And since then, they've helped 3 nursing homes.
We hope we can bring it to more nursing homes to let the elderly have a chance to have this makeover session and then have nice pictures. They may or may not be their last portrait, may or may not, because some of them can live for very long. But they will always have that beautiful picture of them with them.
And it's not just about those companies who are recognized. Many others have also stepped forward to give back to the community since the start of the pandemic.
One would think that in a time of crisis and also downturn like this, businesses will usually want to keep and save as much resources as possible for themselves. But instead, the opposite behavior has been happening, whereby businesses are actually have been coming forth especially during the peak of the COVID-19 period.